Xabi Alonso says Liverpool icon who he never played with had big impact on career. Michael Edwards pulled Trent Alexander-Arnold for last-minute chat before Liverpool exit. Now let's hear the details. Welcome to LFC Transfer Hub. Don't forget to subscribe and like this video. Also leave your comment below. Let's start. Reds fans may not be aware that a member of one of Bill Shankly's early all-conquering Liverpool sides played a key role in Xabi Alonso's development in La Liga. Xabi Alonso was one of the greatest midfielders of his generation. A calm, all-seeing metronome, the Spaniard had the ability to keep things ticking over the center, while also exhibiting a passing range few in world soccer could rival. His medal collection backs that up. A World Cup winner, 2 European Championships, a 2-time Champions League winner, and 4 domestic league titles are among his most impressive awards. The list goes on, and to earn 114 international caps in an era when Spain possessed an abundance of midfield talent says it all. But things could have been different for Alonso were it not for the intervention of a former Liverpool man, when the would-be world champion was still a teenager. John Toshak enjoyed a rich and varied career as a player and manager, and was part of Bill Shankly's first great Liverpool sides of the 1970s. As a coach, Toshak's CV is remarkable. He first coached Swansea City at 29, managed Wales for 6 years, and oversaw 2 spells at Real Madrid. The 76-year-old also managed in Portugal, France, Italy, North Macedonia, Azerbaijan and Morocco. During one of his 3 spells at Real Sociedad, Toshak uncovered a world beater. With the Basque club bottom of the table at the turn of the 2001 season, Toshak decided to recall Alonso from loan. In an incredible turn of events, the Welshman opted to make Alonso captain and Sociedad went on to avoid relegation, finishing 14th. To this day, Alonso still credits Toshak with kickstarting his career. "I would not have had the success I have had if it was not for John Toshak," he told the Daily Mail in 2012. "I was on loan in the Spanish second division when he called me back to play for Real Sociedad and the team were not in a good situation. I was 19, but he said, 'I have the confidence in you that you can help turn this season around.' Since he put that confidence in me I have never looked back." Whether any of Toshak's teachings have been applied to his coaching is unclear, but Alonso has brought his success from his playing days into the world of management. He oversaw an incredible title-winning campaign for Bayer Leverkusen in 2023-24, when the club won its first-ever Bundesliga crown and went unbeaten throughout the season. Leverkusen also won the DFB Pokal and finished as runners-up in the Europa League. Now at Real, Alonso will be back to face Liverpool in the Champions League later this season. Michael Edwards pulled Trent Alexander-Arnold for last-minute chat before Liverpool exit. Liverpool celebrated its Premier League title triumph with an open-top victory parade through the city when several executives updated Trent Alexander-Arnold on his move to Real Madrid. Trent Alexander-Arnold was surprised to learn Real Madrid had stumped up £10 million, $13.5 million, to buy him out of his Liverpool contract early. The England fullback was already heading for the exit on a free transfer to Madrid in a deal which had elicited a hostile reaction from many Reds fans, who were angry that a local lad and one of their prized assets was leaving the club for nothing. But Fenway Sports Group's chief executive of football Michael Edwards pulled Alexander-Arnold aside while celebrating their Premier League title win during the club's end-of-season open-top bus parade, to inform him that Madrid would be paying a fee after all. According to The Telegraph, Edwards, Liverpool sporting director Richard Hughes, and FSG president Mike Gordon delivered the news to Alexander-Arnold that his move to the Bernabeu was being fast-tracked. Madrid was keen to have his services in time for the Club World Cup, which started in June, prior to Alexander-Arnold's contract expiring. The £10 million outlay felt significant, but with £100 million, $135 million, on offer to the winner of the tournament, it seemed a price worth paying for Madrid. Ultimately, Madrid would only go as far as the semi-finals, but Liverpool would at least receive some compensation for Alexander-Arnold, who the club had nurtured from the day he joined the academy aged 6. All 3 executives are said to have given Alexander-Arnold their best wishes, while also being satisfied with the deal they had struck with Madrid, who paid the fee up front. Liverpool completed the signing of Jeremy Frimpong just days later as a replacement for Alexander-Arnold, to kickstart a spending spree that would culminate with the club record transfer fee being broken for a second time that summer by landing Alexander Isak in a £125 million, $169 million, deal from Newcastle. Isak had forced Newcastle's hand during negotiations by going on strike and refusing to play over what he claimed were broken promises, when the Magpies rejected Liverpool's opening offer. Newcastle fans reacted angrily to Isak's behaviour to secure his move. But former Liverpool legend Dietmar Hamann believes the situations of Alexander-Arnold and Isak are incomparable. "I don't think you can compare Alexander Isak to Trent Alexander-Arnold because Trent didn't do anything wrong," Hamann told CoinPoker. "If Liverpool wanted to keep him, they could have offered him an improved contract a year earlier, and he probably would have signed it. The fact that they didn't, and he let his contract run out, means he's free to go where he wants." Mark Guehi can't lose, as Liverpool sent new transfer warning ahead of big decision. Mark Guehi was denied his move to Liverpool on deadline day, although the Crystal Palace defender has been given some reassurance over his future which the Reds may not appreciate. Mark Guehi has been told he can't lose, despite being denied a deadline day move to Liverpool, although the Reds have been warned they won't be alone in their interest for the defender. A move to Anfield collapsed for the defender on Monday at the 11th hour of the summer window, with Crystal Palace pulling the plug on the deal, despite Guehi having already undergone his medical in preparation. Subsequent reports have suggested that the 25-year-old has been left angry by Palace's actions, having not agitated for a move during the summer despite being just a year away from his contract expiring. There have been claims that Liverpool will revisit its interest in January, at which point Guehi would be expected to be available for much less than the $47 million that was agreed at the end of the summer window. Speaking ahead of England's World Cup qualifier against Andorra, which saw Guehi make his first appearance since his move to Merseyside fell through, former Manchester United captain Roy Keane believes the defender has nothing to worry about. Obviously, when clubs like Liverpool are coming in for him at this stage of the season with a year left to go, he's obviously doing something right, Keane told ITV Sport. "I think he would have been disappointed, but as we know the challenge of being a professional footballer is dealing with setbacks, and the beauty is, he knows if he has a good season ahead and does well at the World Cup, he'll have plenty of options anywhere. I wouldn't be worried about January yet, but next summer, he'll have every club after him, including Liverpool, so it's just a different option, different time, but I think he'll roll with it. He seems a top professional. Liverpool will have to decide whether it tries to pull the trigger again in the new year, or wait until next summer when Guehi will be available for free, although that would present its own obvious risks, with Ian Wright pointing out he shouldn't be short of options. I think the thing with him, his age, his emergence, there's no rush, Wright said. He can't lose in this situation, as long as he doesn't get himself injured. Come next season, he's a free agent, and he can go anywhere. He'll have the pick of where he wants to go. Liverpool will probably still be in the hunt, but the way he's conducted himself, of course, he will get on with it because that's how he plays, that's how he is, that's the kind of guy he is. Liverpool Mark Guehi transfer alternative emerges as surprise £51 million claim revealed. The very latest Liverpool transfer news and rumours centred on Mark Guehi and Jan-Paul van Hecke. Liverpool may be about to experience the repercussions of the only hiccup they encountered in the summer transfer window, Mark Guehi's failed switch from Crystal Palace. The defender was all set to join the Reds on deadline day, but his club put a stop to the proposed transfer. This leaves Liverpool playing a waiting game, a scenario they had previously acknowledged as a possibility earlier this summer. However, the rapidly evolving market could make a free transfer increasingly challenging, as we look towards 2026. Moreover, head coach, Arne Slot, will now need to contemplate his long-term strategy, considering his existing defensive options and Guehi as a potential target. Below is a look at some of the latest Liverpool transfer rumours on Saturday, September 6. Guehi alternative. Liverpool are reportedly looking at Brighton centre-back Jan-Paul van Hecke as an alternative to Guehi. Team Talk claim that the Reds are one of 3 Premier League clubs tipped to make a move for Van Hecke in the new year. The Seagulls man still has 2 years remaining on his contract, with several clubs reportedly monitoring his situation. It's claimed that Brighton have already made initial advances to retain him, while also noting that several teams have scouted him. Liverpool are reportedly among those clubs, having been unable to sign Guehi on deadline day. Quansah claim made. The Mirror claimed that Liverpool managed to slot in a buyback clause into Jarell Quansah's contract at Bayer Leverkusen. The centre-back joined Leverkusen in a deal worth up to £35 million, only days after winning the European Championships with England under-21s. And it is said that the Reds have a £51 million buyback clause for Quansah. However, this will only become active from the summer of 2027. Quansah has admitted it was a tough decision to leave the Reds, but he also knew it was one he had to make in search of further first-team opportunities. "It's tough to leave this club where you've built so many relationships and friendships," he said. "It was very emotional. For a long time, I didn't know what would happen this summer. I only knew one thing: I absolutely had to play regularly to improve. It's a bit crazy, and somehow it all happened so quickly. I haven't even had a chance to say a proper goodbye yet." Marc Guehi will get another chance to join Liverpool after transfer collapse. Liverpool failed to land Marc Guehi from Crystal Palace before the transfer window shut, but the Reds are expected to make a fresh approach to sign him with his contract due to expire next summer. Marc Guehi has been told he will get another chance to join Liverpool after his deadline day switch from Crystal Palace collapsed at the 11th hour. Liverpool was keen to make Palace captain Guehi its final signing of a staggering transfer window and had agreed a deal with the South London club. Palace was under pressure to sell with Guehi out of contract next summer, but head coach Oliver Glasner pulled the plug on a deal when it became clear the club could not sign a viable replacement before the deadline. Guehi, 25, was reported to be unhappy at Palace's decision to deny him a move after continuing to train and play as normal despite negotiations taking place behind the scenes, while the club also allowed teammate Ebereki Eze to join Arsenal earlier in the window. But former Liverpool midfielder Dietmar Hamann believes this was not the chance saloon for Guehi and is confident his old club will make a renewed effort to sign the centre-back in the coming months. Hamann told CoinPoker, "It's obviously not good for Guehi because it looked like it was going to go through. He's got to stick with it now and do the best for Crystal Palace and maybe see if he gets a move in January or next summer. He'll be disappointed because if you've got a chance to sign for Liverpool and it falls through as close as it did with him, you don't know whether you'll get another chance. But then again, he's still only young. There'll be another chance to join Liverpool." Complicating Liverpool's pursuit is the fact that Guehi can now negotiate a pre-contract agreement with foreign clubs from January 1, with Bayern Munich and Real Madrid both interested in securing the England international signature. That could pose a significant problem to the reigning Premier League champion, particularly as current starting centre-back Ibrahima Konate's contract is also due to expire next summer. Guehi has been praised for his professionalism despite his transfer falling apart, though Hamann feels the situation strikes a dangerous precedent, given Liverpool did complete a deal for Alexander Isak, who had spent the previous 2 months on strike at Newcastle to force through a move. It was a chance for Marc Guehi to play for a better team, to perhaps challenge for the Premier League, for the Champions League, and he went about it the right way, Hamann added. "I just wonder what example it sets, because Alexander Isak refused to play or to train and moved while Guehi played well, contributing to the team's success in the first few games, and he didn't get the move. Now you can say, is that trust? Or should it have been the other way around? It's just the way it is."